Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 2 of the Master League Qualifier number 1. It's time for our first semi-finals here. The bottom side we got coming strong from Korea. It is none other than Ashablois, one of the few Korean players that are still actively playing. And on the north-hand side we got our, I would say still relative newcomer to the somewhat professional scene that we've got going here. It is, of course, from Romania, IncaUna, who has been playing very well these past couple of days. Immediately we got our first engagement in the center. MG42 catching the conscripts of Ashablois off guard. And that Grenadier at the max range snipes the first model of the game. So far nothing out of the ordinary in terms of build order. See standard conscripts. No sniper shenanigans of any kind. See a standard MG42 opener. Taking the garrison here in the center. Pretty powerful garrison. But it does diminish the capping power a bit. As you can see, Ashablois with his start manages to capture a little bit more ground than IncaUna. Which is something to be expected, of course. The engineers first need to build the infantry campagna, and the MG is often used as a supporting unit and not that much as a capturing unit, while the Soviets can immediately get out units that will all be used for capturing those points. See a decent group of units in the south here, possibly trying to gain control of that enemy fuel. IncaUna rallying troops over from the northern side. And its engineer is trying to slow the advance, but flamer pops here for Ashablois, and IncaUna is forced away. But here are the MG and the 2 Grenadiers. Little difference here to this building on the ML map. This is blocked with a big bush, so there's no exit on that side anymore.
Attempting to steal our sector.
Russia shifting gears into the center, tries to get that sand back up, but once again will be caught off guard by the MG42. IncaUna favoring the 4 Grenadier opener, while some players are keen to tack up first, goes for the 4th Grenadier and tacks up afterwards.
Find my arm, please. Find it.
Oh, this conscript should not stay too long, otherwise it will be a tough retreat path.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And Ashablois decides to go backwards very quickly.
Get the hell out of there. It feels like it's
IncaUna playing the blob game quite a bit, has a big group of units close together, which makes them combat-wise more effective. But Ashablois is making use of the fact that he can capture the map a little bit better.
We have the sector.
Ashablois already went for the guard with coordination tactics. Pretty popular commander nowadays, has the guards, the 120mm mark vehicle, very useful. And of course those T-3485s to deal with German medium tanks. Tier 2 going down, most likely. We'll see a 2-2. First big engagement there, rifle grenade coming in. And good reaction time there by Ashablois. Ashablois being from Korea, while IncaUna is from Romania. I'm wondering what server they are playing on, what's the best ping for them. Engineers still out in the field, so we got a lot of fuel, a lot of manpower in the bank, and nothing to build anything with. Once we're being flanked here, MG42 sets up. But still, this engineer is on the field. Ashablois possibly just waiting for that 2CP so that he can call in the guards and maybe even a 120mm immediately as well.
We are losing a sector.
So far, map control wise, pretty even. Fuel has not traded hands yet. First time that one player will try to attack the fuel. Here comes the 222. And indeed, 2CP's hit, guards coming up, immediately getting their DP28s. And the 120mm mortar is coming up as well. We see the medics being unlocked already, but no grenade package yet, so nothing to smear the 222. Ashablois has been investing heavily into mines. And that first mortar is huge, which takes out 2 models. Very low health grenadiers here. Guys would love to just get a couple kills. He decides to retreat everything finally. Needs to get the heal bunker up to get these up to full health. Already has a pack-gun out. From our perspective, the pack-gun seems to be quite useless at this point in time, considering there's no light vehicle. Guards here trying to get in range of the 222. And the MG being pummeled backwards. Ooh, this is, I would say, quite dangerous. He could have used 10 munitions to at least heal up this squad with one of his veteran squads. But one good mortar and you lose 2 or 3 models immediately. This is quite a tricky engagement. I think still on barrage. We're not actually shooting at anything. Two coming forward. They dropped the PTRS. A little unfortunate. Oh, he hasn't noticed that the MG went away. Otherwise he probably would have started capturing this by now. Nice usage of the pack-gun to try and get rid of the sandbags.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Rifle ace, nicely dodged. Nothing too difficult. A little bit slow gameplay here from both players. See a medic bunker coming up now. Already has enough fuel for tier 2. I mean, both players have a lot of resources. There's not been a lot of map control being switched.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Tier 3 coming up. I'm wondering whether we'll see a vehicle from that or whether we will see an immediate attack up to tier 4. I think the second is more likely to happen. Also no sweeper yet. Ashablois has laid quite a few mines, but they're all pretty deep mines, and IncaUna hasn't ventured that deep into Ashablois territory yet. So I don't think he has hit that many mines. Oh, this is an interesting choice here. IncaUna is floating manpower, he says. And he's coming with the sniper to get that additional bleed going. And once again, Sandbag being built immediately gets destroyed by that pack-gun. So even though there's no vehicle on the field, it's not being completely useless.
The Scharfschütze has arrived.
Triple cap in favor of Ashablois. Ooh, that mortar shell almost revealed the sniper there. Finally we see an adventure north. Without a minesweeper this can become a costly endeavor. I think I saw some mines going down, but... There's one on the fuel here. Apart from that first mortar shell that landed on top of those two grenadiers, not much else has happened, so... Hasn't finished his mine yet. Maybe he forgot to cancel it, or he plans to finish it in a later stage. Ooh, this is a nice hit. And we see Ura possibly gonna try to aim for the sniper. It does take aim.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Doesn't manage to connect enough shot. Well, that was close.
The enemy has broken our supply lines.
And a nice cutoff here from Ashablois. Meantime, on the left hand side, or more the south side, the two grenadiers are marching forward. Has to be careful though, if he retreats over this pathway, there's a mine waiting for him, so that might become a nasty surprise. And he will retreat over there. Only one model remains. 3 grenadiers, or 3 conscripts. And the MG42 gets dropped. Didn't pick it up, immediately retreated. It'd be nice to pick up the MG42. So first loss here for IncaUna. Not too devastating, considering he has a sniper. He managed to pick up the MG42 himself, which just now makes this the squad with 2 LMG42s. Pretty cool. It's a good amount of DPS there. And finally a minesweeper. Already spots. This is another mine in the retreat path. Another mine going off there. MG has to get out. That building is one hit away from collapsing. And when it collapses, everything dies inside. We see TF4 coming up here for Ashablois, the mechanized armor companion, and already has enough fuel for the first T-3485. So Ashablois at the moment in a very nice position.
We are losing a sector.
Wait, where was the Siskin fighting? Oh, Siskin was here in the south. Missed its shot on the 2-2 though. Meanwhile, IncaUna also has escalated to battle phase 2. Still needs to build the tech structure though. And we see the engineer coming back now to do just that. Almost reaches that one, but not quite. Oh, and just absolutely lands on the sniper, taking it out right there. That's just disgusting. I would be fuming if I was IncaUna.
Combat infantry now have access to additional equipment and tactics. Relief infantry ready for reinforcement. Infantry can march double
The
time
lightning war
at your
doctrine
command.
has been equipped. I wonder what he will get from it. 2 under fire. I'm going to see an attack round. He is going to try. Oh, and he misses by an inch. A nice attempt though from Ashablois. P4 in the bill. But in the meantime, the first of the big Soviet guns is going to arrive on the field here. T-34-85. The T-34-85 can handle a P4 on its own, while doing a good amount of vehicle damage as well. Infantry damage as well.
We have a fresh grenadier squad. The
And
enemy is
with the kill on that
attempting to
sniper,
steal
that
our
mortar
sector.
just gets so much veterancy, because it counts as so much damage.
Our lines of supply are disrupted. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Both players playing really safe, not too much aggression on either side. Really calculated play here. Both want to get into that final. Can we get the snare off? No snare, there's not even munitions for a snare. The Packen does get 2 shots in though. Imagine that shell being just a little bit later would have killed the retreating grenadier. Meanwhile, in the center there's the P4 making its appearance onto the battlefield. A huge shot on the guards. And the Cis gun is returning the favor.
The enemy is taking our territory.
T-34 needs to be careful. Already took quite a couple shots. Oh, conscripts bullying the Packen away. Always a nice target to shoot. 2 models remain though. We're going to see Ura. He's trying to get around the arc, but nice focus fire from the MG. Oh, T-34 coming up. MG forced away, no support here. And now IncaUna is under a lot of duress. Sets up the Packen, able to reinforce from the infantry campagna. Are we going to see a snare? There is a snare coming in. Engine damage. Engineer goes down here as well. Is he going to die for the P4? No, decides against it. Moves his T-34-85 backwards, but nice victories here for Ashablois. Ashablois could probably do with another engineer.
A squad of pioneers has arrived. Enemy forces are securing our
I think the missed opportunity for IncaUna is the fact that he didn't make any S-mines. He knows that there's only one engineer on the field with a flamethrower equipped, which gives him ample time to get some S-mines down. Oh, another huge hit by the mortar squad, reaching Vet 2. Higher rate of fire and better accuracy. And the conscripts all got their 7-man upgrades as well, making even more potent. Cisco in a nice angle. Get the final shot. Does not get the final shot. Red 0 Grenadier versus yellow cover guards on Veterancy 2 and that are laying down. I'm not gonna win that engagement. Ashablois at the moment floating. Can go for either a Katusha or another T-34. Decides to go for the Katusha, which is a good choice on this map considering all of IncaUna's units are currently stuck on this side. Ooh, we see the delayed fuse barrage now coming down. Rifle nades. Don't do too much damage. And the delayed fuse actually doing damage to the P4 here. But eventually IncaUna manages to force Ashablois away. Katusha's on the field. It's moving up. Let's see what his first target will be. It's not yet aiming.
Tiger tanks are now available to you, Commander. Use them well.
IncaUna not going for a second tank, but instead gets a second AT gun. With the Katusha on the field, that's probably not the wisest choice, but Katusha hasn't revealed itself yet, so we can't be aware.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
Maybe he wants to try and stretch the game out until he can get a Tiger, but it's pretty far off as well.
Seizing a sector.
Oh, here's the Katusha. It's getting as close as possible. Mark target to get that vision. Let's go on board with Ashablois here. Sees where the AT gun is and immediately shoots. Oh, P4 bounces the final shot. Two just gets out of range as well. Can't get the snare off either. So IncaUna luckily escapes with everything intact. Another huge hit by the mortar squad. Once it reaches that vet too, I feel like it's such a huge upgrade it gets. Molotov being thrown towards the MG. And these pack guns are also very low health. IncaUna is in a lot of trouble. Triple cap still going. Oh, and a mortar hit. This base entrance.
Down to 200 points.
I don't think building the infantry campagna is the wisest idea here. I think this gap is just a little too small. Maybe if he places it over there, he has a wider gap to go through, making his units a little less vulnerable. Up to 12 kills now. I think that's more than the sniper got. Second T-34 underway. IncaUna not spending his fuel at the moment. Should probably get the sweeper. Increases repair speed a little bit. But you also need something to sweep mines. So that's exactly what Ashablois makes the entire time. Katusha's probably ready to fire as well. Ashablois waiting for the right opportunity here, it seems. Just falling back a little. Huge mine hit, minus 90 manpower. And close range barrage here. Needs to run through. Back and goes down.
Destroyed an anti-tank gun.
The Grenadier will survive. And here come double T-34s to finish off the pack-in. Great opportunity to strike here for Ashablois, and he's going for it. Second pack-in also caught off guard, and IncaUna throws in the towel, realizing that he is done for. Game number 1 in favor of Ashablois. Ashablois being 1-0 up right now. Now have to show his prowess as the German faction. He's also making the infantry campaign quite forward, but he's leaving a little bit more room. Or maybe I'm just making that up. But in the south hand side, being down 1-0, we see IncaUna coming in hot with the USF. It's the first time I've seen USF this tournament. Casted 2 series yesterday, didn't see any USF there. Merely Soviets
Their team is
versus
awaiting orders.
Austere. So I'm curious to see how IncaUna will tackle this. Ashablois certainly knows how to counter it though. Immediately going for the good old Prostroepen, the Osttrooper strategy. So start making them probably in high numbers. He's also looking to go for some offense, it seems. He's not going towards his own fuel. I'm curious to see how he tackles this.
We have new units.
IncaUna does have double riflemen ready here for this fight. MG42 not in a position to fire. Now it is, and the riflemen move backwards.
Territory increased.
It's very weird. This is a house that can have 4 units inside. It's probably one of the more tiny houses. Well, this, obviously being a lot bigger, only can have 2 units inside. You can also hop into this windmill, but you will never get out of it, so don't try to do that.
Our forces increase.
And then here comes the first precious volley of the MG42. And thus the Osttrooper can march forward. Very much of a slow push here. Not unlike siege tank pushes in StarCraft 2. The Osttrooper are more than holding their ground. And meanwhile, the second and third Osttrooper have captured parts of the map. We're going up to 4. See Lieutenant coming up. No cheeky grenade attack or anything. Straight Lieutenant.
We're losing a capture point.
Here comes the moment IncaUna has waited for. Forces the MG backwards, but can't get in range to fire at it. And don't underestimate these Osttroopen. They're getting a lot of kills here on the riflemen.
A lieutenant has been assigned to field ops.
And this game might be a quick one. A lot of bleed on IncaUna's side at the moment. 10 units killed for 9 lost.
A capture point
But
is
the
being
manpower
overrun.
difference he has to pay for. It's gonna be hard to get over.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Where's that shooter? I need cover! Drop the front line! Ready to go!
Lieutenant, quite effective with its Thompson. Thompson model still alive here. A lot of damage here at the close range, but not before the Osttrooper do a decent amount of damage. Heal bunker also coming up. And M20 seems to be the choice for IncaUna. His way to get back on the map. Can't really wait for anything else. Possibly could have gone for the 50 cal.
The enemy is overrunning one
M20
of
is
our
probably
capture
the
points.
wiser choice. Don't think I've seen any Salamines go down.
Our supply line just got cut off.
Battle phase 1 coming up now. Let's find out if we're gonna see a tier 2 tech structure. Ashablois could also possibly wait for a pack-on out of the supply drop. So we can go straight into a quick P4 out of his battle phase 2. He has good map control so far. So fuel income wise, it's doing really good.
A sector.
It's ours now! Maneuver and fire! Contact infantry!
There is the M20.
Under fire!
Not yet going for the upgrade. Lieutenant also not going for the bazooka yet.
Waiting orders. Fire at will.
Not afraid of any Telemines.
On our flank. Adjust fire.
Yeah, drive nicely around the green cover so that he can do maximum damage. Otherwise, a lot of your bullets would just hit the green cover. And this seems to be exactly what IncaUna needs to get back on the field with all his units. It's forcing Ashablois backwards everywhere.
Bust out the metal, boys! Promotion just came through!
But Ashablois will not give up his fuel that easily. And he is going to go for the tier 2.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
So no quick P4. Most likely going to see 2-2 and a pack gun. You always have to watch out because IncaUna might start spamming the Greyhounds to quickly take over the map before any medium tank of Ashablois can get on the field.
Contact infantry. Losing men here.
Shots at us!
I'm trying to close the distance as much as possible. They do better at the close range.
Good to go.
Armor skids coming up. I haven't seen any M6 tank mines go down.
Is being overrun.
Did get the Zook, so he has something to deal with the 2-2.
Paratroopers standing by for air assault missions.
Area secured! Field promotion!
This is a very low health rifleman.
Over here!
Oh, these will probably drop units like flies. Yeah, look at how many models drop. I doubt that 2-2 might even be able to finish it off on the retreat path. Very greedy staying on the field that long.
A capture point is under attack.
Might lose both riflemen here. Even if he loses the 2-2 forward, it's possibly worth it. No, doesn't dare to stick it. He disagrees, doesn't want to lose the 2-2. Both riflemen get away, which is quite lucky.
Ground infantry. Heavy truck, ready for orders.
You need some reconnaissance?
Send orders. Greyhound, ready for action.
Ambulance on the field.
You ready to roll
He
out?
needs it to get his infantry up to full health.
Stick with me and you might just make
Otherwise they lose the engagement from the Ostrupen. Ostrupen having, of course, access to the medics already. We don't see any T-gun, so I'm expecting a supply drop. Get that MG34 and then a T-gun out. But also, of course, that little bit of fuel, little bit of munitions. Well, he wants to should watch out with the 50 cal. I was about to say 2 might go down to the 50 cal, but there's the flamethrower. Make sure that doesn't happen. Oh, now the 2-2 is getting shot at. We'll get away safely.
They got us zeroed in here! Bust out the metal!
MG34 is here.
Came through!
And good timing as well. Preventing IncaUna from going to the center. In the meantime, it's already retreated his MG. It's setting up now. Might be a dangerous decision. He's not going forward with any of his other units. Stewart coming up. Could have gotten a Greyhound as well, but decides to go for the Stewart. Stewart, of course, a little bit more durable, battle versus vehicles as well. Oh, just gets around the arc before the suppression hits. So IncaUna able to push deep now. Let's see if he can hold on. Huge contingent of troops coming.
Driven a wedge in our lines.
Cal also forward. This is where these guys are really good at. They use their MGs quite aggressively. Shoots and scoots. Constant resetting up of the MGs.
We're taking
to make it hard for your opponent to find that angle to do something against it. And now we've got an entire army that is being suppressed or harassed here. It's probably clicked on the Faust, but this might get it killed. And yeah, one Ostrupe going down.
Has been killed. Foes are behind our lines.
And here comes the steward. Backen is here though. Misses the first shot. There's the snare. And the Greyhound's coming out as well. So now we got triple light vehicle. Versus a 2-2 in the pack. IncaUna might decide to dive and kill everything. Needs to be careful though. Backen was set up to take shots here. I wonder what the answer of Ashablois is going to be. He doesn't care. He's just going to battle phase 3. He's not too far off of a medium. And if he can get that medium tank out, IncaUna doesn't have an answer. No manpower. He has munitions for a bunch of Zooks though. But hasn't unlocked the weapon racks yet. No sniper for Ashablois, just 4 Ostrupe, which gave him a lot of map control. Into 2-2 and then into the drop. Telemine coming down as well. No sweeper yet. 3 light vehicles, but no sweeper. I mean, I sometimes also like to live dangerously, but that's very risky, if you ask me. MG42, good setup. Here comes the light vehicle. Assault. Got the flight bombs as well. We're in the endgame now, boys. Can Ashablois hold on? He doesn't have any Faust nearby. Backen goes down. Immediately starts remaking one.
We must defend our headquarters. Enemy forces are securing our
Oh,
territory.
Greyhound went down to the went down to the butterfly bombs. So that makes the situation not even that bad. But Ashablois cancelled the pack and decides to go straight for that P4. Imagine if one of the vehicles retreats over this. Then it's even more GG. Captain coming up, no season trouble. He wants to get an Itzigan. Get some incendiary. No.
Enemy is taking our territory.
Oh, danger close. Don't want to miss this. 50 manpower away from a P4. Up until this time, IncaUna will have the map control, but once the P4 hits, we got the captain out though, so up to 5 infantry squads, which is a lot. But uses the supervise to quickly get out the M1. And I like this. This is what I like. A big fat M6 anti-tank mine. And remember, flamethrower, so there's no sweeper available. So there's deadly mines. Deadly mines on the field, chat. Butterfly bombs available as well. Getting more anti-tank mines.
Our HQ is under attack. is attempting to steal our sector.
There comes the P4. Butterfly bombs coming in as well. Might be huge if he doesn't get this one out of the way. Oh, that
Our base is under
MG
attack.
takes a beating. Engineer might go down as well. Gets away just in the nick of time. M1 already got 2 shots connected. He desperately wants to force one of these vehicles away. And there we go. Oh no, it stopped.
We have 300 points remaining.
Tense gamer moments. Oh, it drives backwards now. This is not the time. And he blows up the captain as well. What a mind, chat. What a mind. The moment we knew was coming. Daddy. And now he gets the sweeper. I mean, he should have been sweeping a long time before. Back and coming up. Meanwhile, Major has gotten out. And remember, there's big explosive things over here as well. Should be aware of that though.
A pack gun is ready for orders.
Another teller coming up. I think with my knowledge, next order of things to get is an extra engineer. And once without saber rounds, of course. Pounds quite a bit. And this is where IncaUna is good at. Always using the AECOH to destroy the cover positions of his opponent. Oh, he's going for the mortar.
Enemy is taking our
Probably to
territory.
help deal with the 50 cal.
We have a mortar team available for deployment. Enemy forces are securing our territory. MG-42 turret is ready. The enemy has broken our supply lines.
Ashablois struggling a bit to get the VPs back under control. IncaUna now also getting that Sherman, so his army is getting better. And the M20 is just such an unkillable vehicle. See, even see M7 mines going down. It's backpedaling slowly, but almost loses the unit there.
Railway artillery support ready.
M1 now has reached that VET1 status, giving it the ability to take aim. Limits the sight, but increased range. Can be just enough to take that last shot. Center at the moment very open and unsupported. There's an MG in the house, but I don't think it can fire in this direction. It cannot. Ashablois in trouble now.
Losing a sector.
Throws down the butterfly bombs on the edge of the base.
Has been killed. A sector has been cut off.
Those troops running for their lives to get away.
The territory is out of
Hyphenman
contact.
steal the mortar. Not ideal, considering there's 2 AT of MGs for Ashablois. So that mortar will definitely help IncaUna.
Shutting that machine gun down.
We have 200 points remaining.
They're coming from behind. Stay out of that kill. Losing men here. Master guard. Watch the flanks.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Second AT gun for IncaUna, expecting a second P4, but it's a bit off. Possibly could do with the artillery field officer to call in smoke.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Once again, the butterfly bombs are ready. Very effective, very cheap. Spots the teller as well. Oh, was almost walking towards it while already shooting with the Sherman. I mean, I've seen that disaster happen more than once. Ostwind for Asha. On a mine going down. Took the attack ground. Couldn't make it around the corner. Mortar immediately getting a very good hit in.
He is ready for assignment.
He's going for the sweeper upgrade. He has noticed something.
Flak
This is
Panzer
where
has
we
arrived.
tricky position.
Mortar is shelling us. Been throwing fire.
Finally, Ashablois trying to establish a double VP here.
They're taking losses.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Oh, this feels like some Beatty setup. Oh, and the minesweeper is just in the nick of time there. Otherwise that tank would have gone down. Unlucky for IncaUna. Has placed these mines a long time ago.
Safety squad reports enemy action.
M1's lining up the shots. No, can't get the final shots off. MG42 getting pummeled by the mortar. Will get out with a couple men. No grenades or weapons here for IncaUna. Relying solemnly on the mines and the M83 cluster
Forces are
bombs.
securing our
A
territory.
third MG. I'm not a big fan of this decision. I would have gotten a second Packen. That would have been the wiser choice. Especially now that there's another Sherman coming up. 3 vehicles for IncaUna. It's a big mistake.
MG42 team is ready for action.
Order has our range.
The enemy is taking our territory. We are losing a sector.
Don't rush. Enemy tank attacking. They will not hold the line.
Taking bunker fire. Our drivetrain is damaged. We're slow to
No. P4 in trouble. Oh, gets around the arc here. Well, maneuvering around the yeah, what do we call this? A water tower? Oh, Ostrupe. Duck splatted.
We are in a dangerous situation. 100 points remaining.
Engineers of Ashablois working overtime. Need the power of the USF vehicles, of course, lays in the fact that they can all repair themselves. And with one packen to work on it, not enough.
Withdrawing fire. The enemy has engaged us. No more than a blast. It's done.
All the vehicles just repairing themselves. And the vision this vehicle gives, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite insane. Look at how much he sees. Mostly coming from this vehicle. This is a take aim. Take aim. Yep, and the Osman goes down. Good uses of take aim there.
We're pinned down. We're losing a capture point.
Butterfly bombs once again coming in. Oh, engineers! Oh, barely make it out.
Swing guns around.
Oh, P4 in trouble.
Enemy is now at 75 points.
P4 down. Ashablois is getting bullied. And this surely is game. Thought again the Gustav for shits and giggles.
Gun crew just got wiped out.
Contact! Heavy MG!
The capture point is being overrun.
They managed to decroup both AT guns, but there's still tanks just going forward. And this a lot of struggles over that man. And we're going to an ace game, ladies and gentlemen. Is he really going to make a P4 here? Let's just fast forward here for a second.
Good shot.
Objective secured!
What is this 1 P4? Oh, and now he quits. Well, the railway is off map. Elpern. It's called the Gustav cannon.
For honor? Okay.
I don't have any money to bet away.
I'm going with Asha. What's your bet?
Ah, shite. That was my bet as well. I don't think he's gonna fall for the USF trickery once again.
Okay.
Elpern is a bit low now. Really?
Oh, really?
I'll put you up again. It's probably just because you were shouting when I asked you to shout.
Okay. You do the introduction?
Yeah, sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ace game of this semi-finals. On the left-hand side, we got the winner of game number 2. It's IncaUna, coming from Romania, and he's picking his USF faction once again. And on the right-hand side, we got Ashablois from Korea. He couldn't handle the USF build on railroads. Let's see what he's going to do differently now.
God damn it, Dutchman. You gotta specify which Korea.
Oh, south. Wait, there's more than one?
Apparently not. Oh, well, very interesting starting capping order here for Asha, just ignoring all the points. He's charging forward.
Waiting for orders.
Already probably spotted that RE with the Pioneer Vision. Very nice. So MG is moving up to stop the
it's
fuel
going
cap.
for the good old flank and shank.
Yeah. I do like that very much, and we can also see here Asha actually going with Grenadiers this time around. He has been playing a lot of Osttroopen so far, to very limited success, I must say.
Well, he is in the
Well,
semi-final, so
yeah, true. So not too limited. There's still some success in there. But yeah, switching around here versus USF, of course. Game 2, he went Osttroopen versus Inca's USF, and it, didn't really do
work
that
out.
well.
Yeah. Also, IncaUna not going for the straight commander pick, where he went recon support immediately last game. This time he likes to reserve his options.
Yeah, good catch, good catch. Very slow start so far. Both players just capturing their maps now. Asha beginning as well, slightly behind there when it comes to the map control. But it's semantics to say the least, I think.
Depends if we're gonna see a quick M20 that we did last game. I think M20 early game. We are a nuisance, especially if you don't have your 2-2 or pack gun out.
I mean, Inca is going at least, he's got them 3 rifles. He's already getting lieutenant as well. M20 is an option, but you can get it slightly faster if you go, for instance, 2 riflemen. So he's not opting for the super fast, but we have an engagement here in the north. Inca
MG42.
trying to get that fuel.
Yeah. Finds the suppression, but riflemen can crawl back into the house, and in the house they will lose their suppressive value.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
And meanwhile in the center, riflemen sneaking close to the grenadiers.
Very nice play. However, Ash already has 3 grenadiers there bunched up, so it's going to put the edge in his favor. So far, both players though playing very conservatively here. Of course, this is the ace game, so this is where everything goes down. Essentially, this is where things matters.
Yeah, they've played conservatively all games so far, I must say. Moving their units very deliberately, thinking about everything twice, if not thrice. Unlock the mechanized platoon command post coming up. He can wait like a bit more than a minute and can get the steward immediately. Or could immediately click on the M20. What would be your choice in this situation, Elpman?
I'm a huge fan of the M20. I wouldn't hate here though getting a 50 cal into steward. I think that's a very solid option. But he's taking a lot of damage here, I must say. Not trading too well versus these grenadiers. Just dropping a lot of rifleman models there. But yeah, we have the M20. Good call there.
20 coming up. Meanwhile, in the northern side, MG42 needs to backpedal. Possibly go for a hard retreat. I don't think there's any safe haven to set up nearby. This is something that Ashablois does very often, which costs him manpower, which I'm not a fan of.
It does let him keep the MG on the field here though, but that's very low MG, and
is it worth 3 models?
Yeah, I don't think so. He basically just soft retreated all the way back to base there. Very odd choice to say the least. Makes him quite unique when it comes to the CO2 players. But yeah, grenadiers in the center just taking down models left and right essentially. Trading really well here. One is already vet 1.
If you look at the overall models, it's 11 kills for Ashablois versus 10 losses, so not that big of a difference.
Yeah, but those are the MG models, right?
Yeah, but Grenadier models as well. Those are more expensive than riflemen. So I think it even out. But now with this M20 on the field, Ashablois is forced backwards. And map control wise, IncaUna is doing great. Already has enough fuel for the steward here.
Yeah. And M20 here is about to get snared, but the Grenadier is of course force retreated. Can't deal any further damage to it than that. And there's still no 2-2. Tier 2 is up, but we can also see here Asha opting to use the vet 1 field aid kits to heal his infantry instead of getting that bunker up.
Doesn't have the manpower available to him.
Exactly.
It's often what you get if you go for Grenadiers first.
Yeah, I gotta be using that slightly not super efficient vet 1 ability, but it still lets him, keep or stay on the field with his squads instead of waiting for that heal bunker.
It's very tough for him though, because if you look at the 3 other squads, they're all but a sliver away from vet 1.
Oh yeah. But we do see here, as you mentioned, the steward coming out, so that 2-2 is already hard countered essentially, and there's no pack yet. Pack is quite far away actually. Have you seen
IncaUna, no tellers I've seen, and IncaUna also learned from last game where a teller took out the steward and the captain in one blow.
Oh,
has a minesweeper now, already out at the 6-minute mark. So I think
It's impressive that Inca won that game, considering that's like 400 manpower for 50 munis.
yeah, I had quite a lot of map control for more than 1 minute.
But yeah, there's the Stewart
There's the
reveal.
Stewart reveal. Ashablois in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Inca's doing faring really well here, I think. He's just, you know, bleeding the both manpower and munitions here, getting that snare on the M20 that he can instantly repair. And he's of course also getting that ambulance up so he can heal his infantry.
Yeah. Apart from that, we also see the commander pick from IncaUna, just as last time, who went for the recon support company, which makes me believe that he will get another Greyhound out.
The holy trinity of lieutenant. M20 Stewart and then Greyhound just to end the game.
Yeah. And once they reach 7 CPs, he will just drop some butterfly bombs on the pack gun and move everything forward.
Very interesting here. Asha using his 2-2, he can't really go too aggressive with it. He has no sweeper versus the M20 mines and barely any AT for the Stewart, but we do have the pack coming out now, so maybe we will see some more aggressive play here. But currently it's just trying to hold on to that resource node in the north.
I was just reading chat a little bit. I had to laugh. But the chat, I mean, just look at the VPs already. Already 120 points down on the side of Ashablois. It's going real fast. Triple cap. A lot of fuel in the bank as well.
Yeah.
And that CP4 is coming up. I think we're gonna immediately see the Greyhound.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all. Meanwhile, Asher here focusing on his infantry, got the triple LMGs up now. Healing bunker is coming up as well.
I don't think he got any Teledyne, so no dive defense. Also have a bit of munitions. Also have munitions for the Fausts. And there it is. M8 Greyhound coming out of the base right now, getting the 50 cal upgrade as well. And let's see where the first big push is going to be.
Yeah, very nice spike here for Inca, and if that pack just slightly oversteps or is out of position for a split second here, I think Inca can just punish that so hard. Which is most likely what he will be looking for here. That pack gun is pretty much Asha's last line of defense.
Yeah, this is his lifeline.
Yeah.
That goes down. Oof. Do you think Ashablois could have done anything different this game so far that would have gotten him a better position?
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
Sorry, say again?
Do you think Ashablois could have done anything differently to get a better position than the one he's in at this point?
Tough to say. I think versus M20 you really want that good 2-2 timing. And his decisions in the early game, you know, to skip to capture the early nodes and just go straight for the fuel. It's like such small decisions really delay the 2-2. As well as getting that 4th Grenadier before the 2-2, you know. It's something that the M20 has really punished.
Yeah, AECOH bad retreat path here. M20 coming for the smoke, but it goes
does
down.
go down.
Does go down indeed.
Meanwhile, Stewart here in the line of fire of the pack gun, taking a hit. But Inca just looking for that bleed, trying to get as many models as possible, you know, to...
Yeah, I think secondary pack gun or even a second 2-2 could be a decent option for Ashablois.
Oh yeah.
Because once that dive comes, you need something to hold it.
Yeah, true. Second pack is coming, as you mentioned, and meanwhile we have Inca here getting a 50 cal, and is also, you know, replacing that RE to get the sweeper out back again on the field. Meanwhile, interesting, Asha once again, just like last game, going for a flamethrower on his Pioneer, not a sweeper versus the M20.
I haven't seen any of those M6 anti-tank mines yet. With the amount of munitions that IncaUna has. He might as well
Gun is ready for
drop
orders.
one down.
Oh yeah.
And the mobility here of the USF army is so huge that it's very hard for Ashablois to spread out and try to capture part of the map.
And we have a really good point here from chat. Ash or Inca never actually captured one of his standard nodes in the south. And you know, after 12 minutes,
I mean, that's
yeah,
another 70 munitions and 40 fuel.
yeah, it's just a lot of resources that's just not been, you know, capitalized of. But look at that huge blob Inca is gathering up here. There's going to be a major push here. I'm not sure if Incas realize there's 2 packs out.
I don't
That
think they've
could-
revealed themselves yet. Do you want to use these in tandem or do you want to split them up? I think with 3 light vehicles it's probably better to split them up.
Oh yeah.
So otherwise
mean,
you can get dived upon.
Seemingly what he's doing here, but now he should have realized there's 2 packs out and he's still going in.
Greyhound
to
surely going
decrew.
down. Yeah, Greyhound does go
Shot.
down.
Yeah.
Enemy forces are securing our
Stewart gets away with a sliver of health, but so does the MG42. Now M20 is in peril. Pack misses, but the Faust goes in, and here comes 2-2 for the cleanup.
Will he go for the hunt? Oh, he
Just-
will go for the hound. Disaster here for IncaUna.
Yeah, Stewart going in. No blind used, but the M20 does finally go down there. Just a major blow there for Inca. What an engagement, though.
Yeah, big engagement. Ashablois coming out ahead by, well,
our sector.
1 or 2 miles. I think the big mistake was this push was just a little too soon.
And 50 cal might as well go down here too. Could potentially be recruited by Asha. This is just falling apart for Inca. What is going on?
No, can't get that final shot off. If IncaUna would have just waited for the 7 CPs, he could have used the M83 cluster bombs to dislodge the packants. But he definitely wasn't prepared for the second pack. That was the big game changer here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you know, the fact that he continued doubling down there, even though after the second pack was revealed. I mean, he was in a tough position there. He was kind of overextended, so I guess he just had to essentially follow through. But so many losses there for no gain whatsoever for Inca.
Yeah. Rifleman down and 2 of his light vehicles. At least he kept the most powerful light vehicle alive, and he's not that far off a tank.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
But now the 2-2 will have room to maneuver a lot more.
Battle phase 2 is coming out there for Asha. Panzer 4 just barely a minute away.
I didn't
so,
notice
yeah.
that Asha already had enough fuel.
I mean, he only got a 2-2, you know. Inca has been getting all those quite expensive light vehicles. I mean, Greyhound is 60, Stewart is 70. That's basically the amount of fuel Ash is spending right here. And you know, Inca's build here is just going to really struggle, right? Versus a Panzer 4 here. You know, you don't have that 80 gun, you need to backtake for it.
Yeah.
And
It depends on this one push there, and last game he did that push at a great timing when there was only 1 pack and the 2-2, and he caught them off guard, killed them both. But this time there's more than that 1 pack available.
yeah, and that single pack in the north now, keeping that 2-2 alive.
Cut off.
Second 50 cal is the option here for Inca. I think that's a misread of the situation, but we'll see.
Doesn't know how much fuel his opponent has.
Yeah. I mean, just backtaking to captain takes such a long time, you know. If you start doing it as soon as the Panzer 4 hits, you're still going to be basically relying on the Zooks for quite some time. But I guess
Yeah.
he's not too far away from a Sherman himself, so...
Already had the major out, so maybe if he
Yeah.
didn't have the major out yet, he would have been likely to backtake. But he was already going for that major.
Losing a sector.
Ground control to Major Tom.
I mean, he does have the 400 munis, you know, so as soon as he gets the weapon racks here, which I think would be his next choice after the Sherman.
Yeah, the soft AT counter, right? Get those riflemen, also some bars.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, he's
then
really struggling versus the quadruple, soon to be triple vet grenadiers here.
I mean, we need to find a way to get a nice push with those butterfly bombs to steal a pack.
Oh, and Major is about to go down here. Yeah, Inca spots it in the final second. Barely makes it out alive.
But alive, it is.
Alive it remains. To walk out into the fields of death once again.
I mean, Major has a good unit to keep alive, especially if your M20 is down, because it has that nice vision.
Oh yeah.
Huge shot from the
Huge.
P4.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Lots of manpower just disappearing in here.
One of them is trying to crawl away.
Now we finally see some
Getting
mine
squashed.
used here from Asha. Tellers coming down in the north.
Ooh, P4. Tricky positioning. Ooh, IncaUna doesn't got the balls to go for it. I mean, backgrounds were already rallying over.
Yeah.
As long as IncaUna can hold on to that single VP, can build up. Bars are out now. I think we're gonna see a second Zook on the lieutenant as well.
Yeah, good call. I mean, he is definitely going to be needing it, right? I mean, Asha is about to get out a second Panzer IV here as well within the next minute. And, you know, he already has the AT deployed in the double AT. He has the quadruple grenadiers at Vet 3. He's looking quite dominant here, I must say. I don't know what Inca has to do to get back into this game.
He needs to get lucky, get some mistakes.
Yeah,
Wiper
roll good.
Grenadier, roll good, roll sixes.
But yeah, 2 tellers now in the north from Asha, so, you know, Inca, if he pushes above the house and beneath the house. Quite aggressive positions.
There's one in.
The riflemen are standing on one, and there's one beneath that same house. Slightly further down, Dashman.
Oh, that's very aggressive.
And Sherman is about to hit it!
Boink.
I
Backins
mean,
there.
this is perfect
Backend is
opportunity
running
for
backwards.
Asha. Connects once, Sherman is down to final HP. Needs one more connection to bring it down.
There's nothing to
IV.
get it though. Panzer IV not willing to pass that rifleman in the north. Who has access to snares.
He could also be scared of M20 mine still. He does not have a sweeper. Might be why he's playing it safe here.
And he also has very little reason to go for the kill.
That's true.
He's in a dominating position.
Yeah, good
Doesn't
call.
really need to close out the game at this point in time.
Yep, second Panzer IV is on its way.
Are we going to see a commander pick from Asha? I wouldn't mind seeing the spearhead drop to him, if it's only for the recon and the flag bombs.
I mean, yeah, he has the Muniz stockpile, right? It could be an option for sure. I don't dislike it.
Or just go for the Ostrup and drop to him. If it's only for the Gustav for some BM. Click it
I mean,
somewhere.
surely Spearhead would be better than you get the Panzer Tactician and the constant recon essentially with this much money piled up. He's also getting 52 munitions a minute here. That's a frag bomb every 4 minutes from now on.
Yeah, it's because this map has, of course, 10 standard points. Giving a little bit more resources.
Here we go.
It looks like for the back tech.
Check out the positions here. Asha really probing, looking for Inca's defenses here. Panzer IVs delivering pain from all angles. Sherman coming up behind. A 2-2 might go down here. Panzer IV eats an entire volley of Zooks there. 2-2 does go down.
Oh, needs to watch out with these pack guns.
And here comes the M83 cluster bombs atop of the packs, but easily dodged there by Asha.
Yeah, I think he's lucky that he was already moving. So you don't have that pickup time to worry about.
Exactly. Yeah, Asha not quite getting that this ending engagement he's looking for here. Losing that 2-2 is also quite a hard loss here, because it provides you with that much needed vision for your 80 gun and machine guns.
Stuart still trying to get some kills. 9 so far. I mean, in 22 minutes time. Not the best Stuart I've seen. Not the worst either. I mean, my Stuart would probably be dead already.
Oh well, Inca here has backtech now for the captain, of course, providing him with quite a strong infantry squad. He's also using here Supervise to get his M1 anti-tank gun out a bit faster.
He did that out last time as well. I really like that move. Really cute.
Very nice, you know, min-maxing, which is what you want to be doing in an RTS game. And we do have here Spearhead picked for Asha. Very solid
Probably
choice.
could do with a second engineer, especially with the amount of Zooks on the field. Keep those P4s up and running.
Yeah, and he still doesn't know if there's been any M20 mines, right?
Nope.
I mean, they could be for sure.
Recon in the sky. I'm just waiting for frag bombs to go down. Oh, Grenadier on the house. Oh,
Frag bombs coming in though. This could be huge. 80 gun not moving. Oh! And that's the cue Asha is looking for. Stuart goes down to the double pack as well. Panzer IV marching in.
Hits a mine though, or gets snared, one of the two.
Yeah, but Inca here, full retreat. Can he even salvage an 80 gun? I don't think he can.
I mean, he can drop some M83 cluster bombs somewhere, but that's about it.
The 80 guns are about to remove it from the field. There you go. Another loss for Inca. He can't quite afford it either, you know. He's struggling with the manpower here, and he has the fuel for another vehicle.
Is he gonna try and be greedy to get this P4? No. Bounces.
Yeah. And Asha's Panzer IV returns the favor by bouncing as well. 2 rare shots there. Or rear shots, rather.
Are they rare? I mean, they happen quite often.
Yeah. But now I think the opportunity is gone here. The 80 guns are in position. Still has those cluster bombs though. And here comes the IncaUna infantry. Cluster bombs coming in.
He's gonna walk into it himself. Oh, no.
Panzer IV almost going down there. The final Zook volley missed, but the Panzer IV is about to get stunned. Doesn't matter. Inca
drops a Zook as well.
Yeah, but Inca runs away.
Bombs were dropped down a little bit too eager there.
I think he needed a miracle, and he didn't get it.
I mean, if you show me minute 7 of this game, and I would never have guessed that this would be the end.
Yeah, it's that one engagement, you know, with the Greyhound just going so sideways for Inca.
So poorly, yeah. Giving Ashablois all the time to get back in the game.
Yeah. It's really a snowball there, you know, for Asha. Removing so much resources from your opponent in one swift blow like that. But the game is not over. Inca still has a vehicle, and he's going to be able to get a second one as soon as he gets the manpower for it.
Will he ever get some manpower though? I mean, those P4s are bleeding. Well, already up to 16 kills. And then you still have those Grenadiers to deal with. Double MG setup right now.
Asha has another frag bomb ready.
Can't
Oh, and there
recon.
we go. Sherman drives on a teller.
Telemine. Where's the
Asha
P-Force?
not capitalizing on this.
Does he want to drag it out?
Use a recon, but maybe he just didn't realize it did. There's so much going on, engagements in the south, center, and in the north. Maybe he just didn't notice. Wow, Inca getting away there. Quite cheap.
Every step he takes on the battlefield just costs him so much manpower. And
Inca surrenders!
Throws in the towel. That is
I mean, for an ace
Ashablois.
game there, you know, I do appreciate him fighting on after that first major blow where he pushed the double packs, but I still think he had a very slim chance here if, you know, reverse position, Asha throwing, but Asha playing just very conservatively here, keeping everything alive.
Yeah, great comeback here from Asha. Just having enough defensive power versus that push that he knew was coming. And this time he does manage to find a way to beat IncaUna's USF gameplay.
Checking out the stats here, and they tell the story itself, you know. Especially the army value graphs, as well as the points held. You can pretty much see the minute where everything fell apart for Inca.
Let me quickly show it to the peoples. Once we
Score is 2-1 for Resi. So that was the final game of this series. Asha taking it home.
Let's see, 91,000 points were put on IncaUna and 50,000 on
Really?
Ashablois. With Isildur 22 putting 44,000 points on IncaUna. He was believing.
Both you and I were correct, at least. We are slightly smarter than the chat, it appears, going down with the Asha prediction there at the start of the game.
Never go against the casters. It's just not smart. Alright, let's take a quick look here at the army value graph of both players. And you can just see at the 13-minute mark how much ahead IncaUna is with all his vehicles. And
you can also see